You take the overall budget, and the overall budget, education, higher ed, for example, since 2008 has $600 million more dollars than they have. 600 more million. We cut a small amount compared to that, 235 million. And that's not over yet because they said there's negotiations between us, the House, and the governor, which are working well together. But people need to get a perspective. We've got agencies 10, 15%, in some cases more. And education has been cut, again, in the last budget, about 2%, in this budget, about 2.7% overall funds. So it's not a fair argument. But when education is 50% of the budget,
right.
Protected, meeting with university administrators over the past few years, their design has been to get to have less reliance on general fund and move to the other models throughout the nation. They've told me that personally on several occasions. So this isn't unusual. But again, they were untouched last year virtually because of the stimulus and the MOE and so forth. Untouched. So enough's enough. Again, you have a budget. And here's the good news, and you mentioned it. We have a balanced budget for the first time in years. No gimmicks, no games, no bonding, no borrowing. We're the only state in the nation that doesn't even own our own capital. Enough is enough. We're going to balance the budget, and with that comes some tough decisions. Calls for leadership. And David and I work well together. We certainly have a different opinion on this. The truth is, they've told us they intend to raise tuition. They raised tuition when there was no budget cuts at all. They have a design to raise that tuition. And again, we're still about the medium of universities in the nation in terms of what Arizona charges. So again, the taxpayers can only afford so much, and this is a responsible way to go. We're very careful. We have protected education for years. There just comes a point where they have to participate in the process.
I need to ask you though.
Yeah, balancing the budget. How many more tax increases can the public afford? Again, there's we have more
tax cuts can the public afford. That's what I'm concerned about right now.
Their money. I know. This is the spin all the time. How much can I afford to let you keep some of your own money? Well, I'm telling you now, you'll be surprised how much government you can do without. The problem is we have this entitlement program. We have the fifth richest access program in the nation. Fifth richest. We've spent $1 billion above the national average in Medicaid. There's just things you can't afford anymore. So it comes a time where somebody has to be responsible. It's kind of like mom. Sometimes somebody has to be the mom. Somebody has to say no.
Enough's enough.
Well, Russell, our system isn't among the richest in the nation. Our access system isn't among the richest in the nation because we decide to offer a lot of healthcare services to our people. It's among the richest in the nation because we are the second poorest state in the country because for years we've given tax cuts to corporations and the wealthy while we continue to tax the middle class, we continue to tax the poor, and then we cut their services each and every year.
And I appreciate that perspective. It's not quite true. We have one of the highest in the West of corporate income taxes, corporate taxes in the West. We're overtaxed, overregulated. The last thing we want to be is California. You want to have great jobs in Arizona is by creating an environment conducive to productivity. That means lower taxes, lower regulation. They're the people that provide jobs. Let families keep some of their own money. Those are the things that bring families here, bring jobs here. That's what spurs the economy. And you can't grow the economy without jobs. But the point is, David brings up another issue too. We talk about one of the poorest in the country. The reason is because we have become, if you will, the extension of the school district for North Mexico. We have the huge problem here that nobody wants to deal with, but some of us do, but in turn we get this fight. $2.7 billion a year to educate, medicate, and incarcerate illegally. But nobody wants to talk about that, the impact on health care, the impact on education, the impact on health services, the impact on safe neighborhoods, on and on and on. It's not the driving compelling issue. So when you get down the numbers, you have to take the state as a whole, and you can't ignore the damage. Again, the good thing about Arizona is we move the right direction, and since employer sanctions, SB 1070, we have 3 times the declining rate in violent crimes than any other state tax. Those are exempt services. Services, we've never taxed services. They want to tax you more. It's just a scheme for how we can get more money from the taxpayer out there. It's simply not true. We grew government under the last administration in some years 20% growth, while inflation population was 6%. You can't continue to grow government at that rate and not have a train wreck coming at you. And we all know that. So it is time to cut. And the point is, this is that $300 million we're pushing for the next year is honest because instead of a gimmick or rollover, and those kinds, we're admitting you cannot close the budget in the 3 months we have left in 2011. We're rolling over, but we fix it in the same budget. Of course, doing 11 and 20, it's fixed. The Chamber is one that sued us on Prop 200. No benefits for illegal aliens. Be a citizen to vote. They sued us on that. The Chamber and those folks are the ones that sued us on employer sanctions, going after illegal employers who have an illegal, immoral competitive advantage over the honest employer, a 26-year high unemployment. First of all, let's deal with this in reality. Everything has an impact on border security. As long as you have free health care, free education, free stuff, and a job for folks that are going to come across that border. And anybody that talks about border security and not the other usually is very dishonest about the fact because everybody talks about border security. But Arizona has proven attrition by enforcement. We have 100,000, 200,000 illegals left this state, according to Pew Center and others. Obviously, it works. The impact has been, again, we talked about this, I want to repeat it. 3 times the reduction of violent crimes at the national average. 3 times. We have a declining enrollment in the prison system, the first time ever in the state of Arizona. We have $500 million we have saved in K-12 from a declining enrollment. And nobody wants to connect those dots.
We need to connect the dots with a failing.
When like SB 1070 is supported by 3-1 across this nation, border to border, 25 states modeling legislation after 1070. That's an image problem. They're proud of Arizona. We're in front of the parade. Percent of it is in effect. It was not enjoined. Only a couple of pieces. It is illegal.
The key parts of it are being enjoined.
No, the key parts were passed. The key parts were not enjoined, and that's all misinformation that gets put out there.
Right,
and those will win entirely in the Supreme Court.
We'll stop it right there.